just to catch you up with what we talked about last week in our Love and Logic class, which is your current, the current video that I'm leaving for you is really what's the most important, is some pretty pivotal things, not really a whole lot to memorize. Like in the first two discussions that we had, memorizing, how to avoid arguments, how to memorize a statement that you use when you are, relaying empathy and posing that first versus doling out a consequence first. This week we really talk about how one of Love and Logic's favorite statements is that you never tell an angry or stubborn child what to do. You describe what you are willing to allow or accept. So let me say that again. Never tell a stubborn child what to do. Instead, describe what you are willing to do or allow. So the way that we do this, and actually even with non-stubborn children, it's still just a really great, okay, let me restate that, even with non-children, even when you're working with, Tiffany, your high schoolers, or working in your marriage, or working with someone in the business world, whatever it is, just communicating in general with people, these are really great strategies to use in communication. So basically, we want to turn our words into gold and not garbage. So kids especially know when our word is garbage, and they know when you have no ability to back up the words that you are putting out to them. Disguising, promises as threats, things like that. We already kind of know that. However, when we turn our words into gold, we do that by using what we call enforceable statements. And these are statements that we can back up, that we know we can actually follow through with. So I'm going to read to you about the power of enforceable statements. Have you ever known a child who listened to their parents with the same level of concern that most adults listen to television commercials about vegetable choppers, knives that can cut through soda cans, or honest politicians? Well, if you're like most people, you don't lean in too close to hear every single word they have to say. Denver International Airport is a great place to study human behavior. Just second to the big store with the big blue sign, it is a great place to watch and learn. It was gate B59 and the time was 2:43 p.m. and little Tammy was having a great time at her poor mother's expense. "Get over here," her desperate mother hollered, but 2-year-old Tammy sped the other way. "You need to sit down," her mother lectured. Tammy jumped up in the air. "Stop bothering that man," Mom said sternly. Tammy acted as if nothing but elevator music was coming out of her mother's mouth. I, Charles, found myself wondering when Tammy first started to learn that the sound of her mother's voice meant nothing. How do such sad things happen? Every time we tell a stubborn child or person what to do, they don't comply. And when we find ourselves at a loss for what to do, then they learn that our words are meaningless. How often does this happen in the homes of many well-intentioned and loving parents?